start from the Starlight Work Circle back again. My guides have been suggesting to me that it's a good idea to prepare for a few possible circumstances that may be coming up in the not too distant future, including disclosures, EBSs, or any kind of possible world situation that we may be facing, so that we as light workers can get through this as best as we possibly can and come out on the other side ready to shine our light out in the world, because that's what we're here to do, isn't it? So let's not hang about, let's get straight on with it. Like I say, I'm a light worker, not a truther. Not that these things can be so easily distinguished. They can and do overlap, which is why I'm talking about this situation now. I, as a light worker, providing spiritual guidance, support and knowledge to the light work, the starseed community, and all of those people who are just awakening, and all those people who are coming up to join us and moving forward, because obviously this is going to be a huge movement forward. And if you're not sure what the truther community is, please go and research that on the internet. If you want a recommendation, I would go and watch Tarot by Janine, or Sending Ravens by Tarot by Janine. She's a great, fantastic truther, and she's also a very spiritually led, as you probably guessed from the name. She's a tarot reader, a psychic, intuitive as well. Now, most light workers, if they're not aware of the truther community, already know there's something going on, from the ascension symptoms that are going on. I'm going to be covering that in a different video. And from all the information that's coming up about awakening, there's so many people awakening right now, and light workers and starseeds really are leading the way. But like I said, we have to be prepared for physical situation, and I've been guided to prepare a few little preparations for any situation that may arise, and I've also been guided to share this information with you. Now, a lot of people have been prepping and hoping for quite a while that some kind of disclosure and change in the world situation is going to be occurring. I've been led that it's coming up sharp, and I've been given that April the 12th is quite pivotal. Now, I can't say whether it's going to be before there or after there, or whether there's going to be any kind of disclosure at all. I'm hoping there is. I'm hoping it all comes out in the open, and I'm hoping it's pretty soon that people could start dealing with the situation. I've been guided that it's coming, and it's coming soon. However, please remember, nothing is set in stone. It changes day by day and hour by hour. So I can't promise this is going to happen. I can't promise that it's going to happen soon. I believe it is going to happen soon, but like I say, we can't always predict the future, because the future's not set in stone. It is all over by April the 30th, when we get our first planet going retrograde. We've had all planets direct throughout this period, and I'm hoping that we've had some kind of disclosure by the time the planets start going retrograde again. Right, so what I've been asked to prepare for is a possible blackout of electricity, internet, communication. Now, if you think about how much this affects in our daily life, it's actually quite staggering. For example, if we do lose electricity and or internet, we're not going to be able to get money out of the bank. So it's a good idea to have just a little bit of cash on hand. Now, I don't know if there's any way you're going to be able to spend your cash, because I'm not sure any shop is going to be able to open. I know there's a couple of little shops that may be able to open, but it's been advised to me to keep just a little bit of cash on hand. If you're not able to buy anything at all, obviously it's a good idea to have a little bit of food in storage as well. I've been advised to go for, of course, long-lasting foods like tinned foods, foods that are easily accessible, easily edible, because if we don't have any electric, we may not be able to cook. I've got a little emergency camping type stove just to heat things up, just in case. I mean, what has been suggested to me is it may be only a few days here or there, on and off, where this may occur. So I'm not suggesting that you store tinned or packaged food for years and years ahead, but do try and keep a little bit of emergency food by, just in case, especially if you have people or pets relying on you. Don't leave it to the last second to get your shopping in, is what I'm saying. Now, without electricity, of course, we're not going to be able to access heating or lighting. Now, some people do have heating and cooking facilities that use solid fuel. For example, you may have a wood burner, you may have a real fire that you could put some coal in, you may have a cooker that uses solid fuel as well. So you may be able to get by with those. Now, it's coming up to spring in the Northern Hemisphere, and it's coming up to autumn in the Southern Hemisphere. So hopefully in most places the weather's going to be reasonably mild, and the light is going to be extending to a reasonable amount throughout the day. But still, it might be a good idea to have a few candles on hand, and either some matches or a lighter to actually light your candles with. Don't forget that. I've also been trying to ensure that my phone and my tablet are fully charged as much as possible, and it may be that you've got a laptop that you want to keep charged as well. Now, you may not be able to obviously access the internet at some point, so it may be that there's restricted use on a lot of things on your tablet. However, they may provide a valuable source of light if you need it. And also, if the communication system is still on, they may also be able to be used for communication and for emergency situations. So I really would recommend that you keep your mobile phone charged as much as possible whenever you possibly can. And if we do go into a situation where things are getting a little bit tight, it may be a good idea to have some of your favourite things around to comfort you. For example, if you like a little glass of wine, it may be a good idea to have a few bottles of wine stashed in your cupboard just in case. If you like chockies, if you like coffee, it may be a good idea to have a few of those stashed just to comfort you over this period. It's also a good idea to remember that most people rely on the internet for entertainment, and you are going to have to keep you and your family and your pets and your partner entertained during this period. Now, I always go back to, do you remember these? Books with real pages, David Icke. It may be a good idea to have a few books around just in case. Now, I'm not suggesting you start reading David Icke. Well, I would suggest actually you start reading David Icke, but if you want some entertainment, maybe go have a few little fiction books around of your favourite type. Now, if you don't know what books are, you won't know what physical board games are. We've got a few little board games stashed away just in case we need them. Cards Against Humanity, that always cheers us up and makes us laugh. And it really is a good idea to try and keep the energy as high as you possibly can. This may be a very dark, depressing situation, so it's really important to keep the energy high. Have some silly games, some silly books, some silly activities planned in your head just in case you need to fall back on them. As light workers, it's really, really important that we keep the energy as high as we possibly can right now, with the only people that we have control over ourselves, and try and help the people around us keep their energy high as well. Your energy contributes towards the global energy, and it's so important to keep that level as high as we possibly can right now, particularly if we do move into this disclosure or EBS period. We really do need to be prepping for moving into fourth and fifth density, which means keeping that energy high with the only people we have control over ourselves and anybody we have influence on around us. For example, our family, friends, partners, pets, to keep their energy as high and as positive as we possibly can moving forward. Please don't forget, as we're moving forward, we need to be looking at that block removal. We need to be looking at constant cleansing and clearing. We need to be looking at protection from lower vibrational energy as we're moving forward, and our psychic connection. And I've done videos on all of these subjects, and there's full courses on my membership site on my website, starlightworkcircle.com. Please remember, you are loved, you are supported, and you will be guided. I'm sure you already know that, but please keep the energy high and please keep moving forward. Whatever the world throws our way, it's gonna be in our best interest, and it's gonna help move the world forward, no matter what it looks like on the outside. So please keep your energy high, keep facing forward, keep moving forward with your connection. Fall back on your guides and your higher self if that's what you need to do. But please remember, you are loved and you are supported, and there's always going to be support here from me, Crystal Star, at the Star Lightworks Circle. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you found this video helpful. I hope you found it useful, and I hope you join me in the next video when I'm going to be looking at a question that's been posed to me by quite a few people recently. What do you do when somebody or something is messing with your energy? So I hope you join me there. Bye.